This creepypasta is called Clown in the Woods. Where should we play? The park? Asked Ben. Ben was my cousin, and my sister Olivia was also with us. She loved playing with dolls, especially her new collection of Dream Mermaid dolls. Of course, this wasn't suitable for all of us, so we all had to meet each other halfway. So we all decided to go to the park. There was a park in walking distance, which had some play equipment and whatnot, as well as a soccer field. Of course, as well as playing on regular equipment, which was swings, slides, and rock climbing, etc. We also played tag nearby. It was actually quite fun, and I could tell from Olivia's smile and Ben's giggling that we were all sharing the happy feeling. Not far from where we were playing, there was a small area with some dirt trails for hikers and joggers to walk or run along, with thick trees and foliage which you could describe as a mini forest on either side of them. Of course, Ben and Olivia and I had no intention of going in, seeing as there was nothing to play in there, as well as the numerous reported sightings of foxes. We all decided to play soccer on a field that was adjacent to the playground with all the equipment. We spent about 2 hours having fun playing soccer and had many games that were 2-on-1. I'm happy to say that we all got our share of wins and losses and we all had fun, but it took one of Ben's double whopper kicks to send the ball hurtling through the air and through the trees of the forest. Unfortunately, due to the forest's hilly geography, the ball rolled down and disappeared into the trees. Of course, this meant that I had to go and fetch the ball, but despite my feelings, I bravely ventured in. Ben and Olivia trailed along for fun, but there was something about these woods that unsettled me. It was just the fact that the forest was dead quiet despite being near some fairly popular sporting facilities. The contrast between the quiet forest and the playground and soccer field was uncanny. Not before long, the sight of the jogging trails disappeared through the trees, and I began to get a little uncomfortable. Maybe it was the ways that the trees were twisting in odd, distorted patterns. Olivia began hugging my leg with fear, and Ben's face got the unmistakable look of being uncomfortable and also huddled up close to me for comfort. We had sighted the ball, and I quickly ran over to retrieve it. It was in a small ditch, but I managed to get it out with a little effort. Ben and Olivia had already begun walking away, and I immediately followed along to make sure that they stayed out of trouble. But it wasn't until about 3 minutes later that I realized they had been walking in the wrong way. Approaching the ditch and retrieving the ball had made me lose my sense of direction. I began pointing them in the right direction, but then Olivia said in her small voice, "Josh, I think I saw someone." I could tell from her voice that she was scared, and I just sighed lovingly. I told her that people often came through here for hiking, but Olivia said that he had a white face and a red nose, like a clown. Then Ben randomly screamed at an ear-piercing volume, and I was beginning to get worried. Naturally, I decided that we all leave immediately. As we began to walk out, a man dressed in a clown mask with striking red hair emerged from behind a tree. He had a cheap-looking black jacket on, accompanied by some tacky pants, accompanied by pale gloves. At this moment, we were paralyzed with fear, but when I snapped out of it, I snapped a photo of him for evidence, which is shown above. We didn't even need to tell each other to run. Our legs just made us move for us. We all sprinted like we were in the Olympics. I felt hopeless that we were in such a secluded area. After about a couple of minutes, the bouncing of feet behind us had stopped, and we turned around and were greeted by a relieving absence of the clown. Olivia was crying at this point, and Ben just had a worried look on his face. After I had calmed them both down, I told him that we would slowly sneak through the trees, and that all three of us would keep an eye out, and so we did. But about halfway back, we heard maniacal laughter behind us, and the clown was chasing us again. We all resumed our frantic dash, and when we finally reached the clearing, the clown had once again retreated back into the thick foliage. I told my dad the whole story and showed him the photo. We called the police, but by the time they got there, they said they had found no trace of a clown, except for one of the gloves that we had seen on him. But soon after, they made a terrifying discovery. Apparently, the clown abducted and killed children that wandered into the woods alone. He would then sneak out and steal some kids from the playground to sell, before returning to the forest and killing them. The police had assumed this from the bones and corpses that they discovered. All the police had to say was that we were lucky to not become part of the clown's collection of children. Okay, so hopefully y'all enjoyed that creepypasta called Clown in the Woods. I never heard this creepypasta before, but when I was scrolling through the creepypasta stuff and I saw it, I decided, hey, why not? Because the image of the clown in the woods actually stood out to me, so that's why I read it. For what it was, I thought it was really good, so I decided, hey, why not share it? But outside that, I don't really have much else to say. I'm not gonna do my Gamer Subs shell in this video because I don't get paid by them. But I keep hoping for a sponsorship, so you know, hopefully one day will be Code Jenki. It will be dope. Thank you guys so much for clicking on the video. It means a lot to me. You clicked on my video. I also have hundreds and I just really appreciate it. If you did enjoy the video, please consider leaving a like. It does help out the channel, and if you want to see more, feel free to subscribe. I do post creepypasta videos 3 times a week, and I also post my YouTube shorts from my streams and other stuff. So if that does interest you, you guys can check out my channel. I do have a lot of old creepypastas, but they weren't in this format because back then I was broke. I'm still broke, but you know, I had to do one takes back then. So now they're a little bit more professional in a way, but also still kind of messed up. So yeah, so if that does interest you, please go check out my channel and all the stuff down below. Just thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye everyone.